the founder of Monzo Bank. I was listening to this podcast from Y Combinator. He mentioned that he got quite depressed a little bit during COVID because Monzo Bank almost died. And what he did is that he took some time off and he hired a new CEO to run the company for him. And he was just sort of taking a break and do something else. But later, when another VC reached out to him and be like, hey, I have this other fintech company that I just invested in. This founder is experiencing a very similar difficulty that you have been experiencing in the past. Could you give some advice? And then he just mentioned that he got so energized when he was talking to that person. He literally said that I know exactly where you're going. I can share how I solved that problem in the past. I think he walked out of depression immediately because some parts of his brain was waking up immediately when he was helping the person who's experiencing the same problems. That really triggered me to make this video because I realized that, hey, helping others, sometimes it's reviewing yourself, because we cannot help anyone unless we have the knowledge or have the emotional value that we can provide for people who are currently in trouble or in pain. You're reviewing on how much you have been through, and that motivates you to continue somehow. In general, I feel like there are a few categories of things that really could motivate me a lot for the day, and they are create something, help people, and lead something with responsibility. This kind of feeling of being part of something big and contributing to this something big can help you ignore the ego that you're suffering from, like the moment when you feel less motivation. Hey, this is Sean. Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I wanted to talk about a lot of young professionals these days are feeling unmotivated about the tech jobs, especially in the tech industry, I think. I'm not too familiar with other industries, but around 60 to 80% of the friends around me between their 25 and 30 years old are constantly like at least mentioning about the work that they're doing and if it's actually meaningful, or struggle with human relationships problems. Sometimes they lack motivation when they wake up in the morning. And firstly, I think for me, I often feel very unmotivated when I don't get much done in the morning. So I'm that type of person who's like, if I get up early, if I get things done early, I feel very motivated. I feel like I've done a lot for the day. So for me, my motivation comes from the fact that I could do something meaningful and complete it early in the day. It works well for me, at least, that say if I just record a short video in the morning, or if I just go to the gym and do some exercise, or I just on the night before the morning, I could set up some goals that, for instance, I'm going to finish writing this product requirements in the morning so that when 2 hours later I talk to my team, I'm very prepared, I've done all my homework. This gave me a lot of motivation to sustain for the whole day. And I definitely have heard a lot of podcasts talking about similar contents, saying things like just set small goals every day, and then once you complete them, you feel like that you have achieved something, and that feels good. But in general, I feel like there are a few categories of things that really could motivate me a lot for the day, and they are create something, help people, and lead something with responsibilities. I'm going to expand that a little bit. So in terms of create something, I also mentioned that sometimes I just record a short video on the morning, just like right now. It's actually a Sunday morning. When I wake up from my bed, and probably it's like cloudy outside, like, you know, for the whole day you don't have too much plans going on, having this like quiet moment and just reflect on myself and talk in front of a camera and create some content that I know eventually will probably help somebody is giving me a lot of energizing energy for the whole day. Even if I don't want to talk and I don't even have socializing today, I just sort of force myself to talk in front of the camera so that I can like wake up that part of my brain to feel like inspired or motivated. That kind of feeling can carry on for the whole day. Whenever I feel like that I'm giving to the outside world, I am creating something instead of always just taking in information or taking in tasks. Like a lot of the jobs that we're doing today, we sort of just take in tasks or information, gathering information from somebody else, instead of like asking ourselves, what do we really want to say? What do we really want to do today? Having these smaller moments in your day-to-day life, or maybe like once or twice a week, really helps me to sustain this, creativity, energy, and then to make myself really excited for what I do. In terms of the second point, helping someone, well, when I mentioned creativity, I actually also mentioned help. What I really mean by helping someone in the second point is less about creating some contents to share online to help people. It's more about just like, provide some information in your day-to-day life. If you could say help people with something that you will feel rewarded. You'll feel needed. You will feel that you have the ability to help people, and that feels good. I don't know how to explain that, but somehow I think that's a huge part of my motivation from work and from life. So, for example, in work, when I was working as a data scientist at Google, a lot of the people around me were just really curious about, sometimes like, how do you run an experiment? How do you run an A/B test? How do you analyze certain stuff using SQL? And I was always happy to, just talk people through what projects I'm working on and ask them around if they have any difficulties for the day. These kind of sharing and helping each other kind of moves really, really help you to feel connected to the rest of the group, feel connected to your community, and feel that you are needed beyond your current work that you're working on. So this kind of feeling of being part of something big and contributing to this something big can help you ignore the ego that you're suffering from, like the moment when you feel less motivation. To me, like, just try to give your colleagues, I don't know, like some tips, or occasionally ask them if they want to review their documents together with you, review their code with you. This could not only help you to learn from other people's work, help you to understand the business from all different kinds of angles, but also gives you a sense of achievement that is very long-term sustainable for you to feel motivated in this job and to feel connected to this job. And in daily life, I think it's oftentimes that sometimes my alumni reach out to me, people who want to apply for the same job, people who want to raise money from VCs that I know. I'm always very happy to help them to reach out to these people, or I'm always happy to provide them with some advice or insights that I have. For any recent graduate students, if they reach out to me and ask me to do a mock interview with them or do a quick resume check with them, I'm always happy to quickly go through it and give them some tips. I think that's very interesting because like you've been through that journey maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, and you see people with the exact same problem. You feel like you are just walking through your own path one more time, and you might have a very different perspective now. So you share things in a much better way, I think. I recently heard this podcast from the founder of Monzo Bank. It's a fintech bank based in the United Kingdom. And when I was a student in UK, I also used the Monzo Bank. And their founder, I immediately cannot remember his name, but I was just listening to this podcast from Y Combinator. He mentioned that he got quite depressed a little bit during COVID because Monzo Bank almost died. And what he did is that he took some time off and he hired a new CEO to run the company for him. And he was just sort of taking a break and do something else. But later, when another VC reached out to him and be like, hey, I have this other fintech company that I just invested in, and this founder is experiencing a very similar difficulty that you have been experiencing in the past. Could you give some advice? And then he just mentioned that he got so energized when he was talking to that person. He literally said that I know exactly what you're going through, and I can share how I solved that problem in the past. And I think he walked out of depression immediately because he realized that some parts of his brain was waking up immediately when he was helping the person who's experiencing the same problems. That really triggered me actually to make this video, because I realized that, hey, helping others, sometimes it's reviewing yourself, because we cannot help anyone unless we have the knowledge or have the emotional value that we can provide for people who are currently in trouble or in pain. And you're sort of reviewing like what you have experienced in the past, 5 to 10 years. And when you share these things with them, you're reviewing on how much you have been through, and that motivates you to continue somehow. Last but not least, to me, if I'm leading a team, if I'm taking responsibilities for what I do, and I know that the rest of the team are sort of relying on me for certain things in order to be successful, I feel incredibly more motivated than just working on something by myself. I really enjoy the sense that I am owning the product. I am sort of leading the team, taking care of everybody to make sure that things are going well. That is because responsibilities make you feel like you're valued, to a sense that you have to get these things done in order to not let people down, and especially not let yourself down. I sometimes talk to friends, and we often discuss like what motivates you in life, what is the most single biggest motivation that you have. Sometimes for some people it could be getting promoted, getting more fame, reputation, or just have a chill and good life and enjoy time with friends. For me, it's taking responsibilities on things that I care about. If I am in a team, I always try to take care of everyone. I try to understand everybody's needs, make sure that I'm not being bossy, but instead I'm all ears. I'm always listening, and I always make sure that I make the right decision for everybody. Sometimes there's some balance or sacrifices you have to make, but eventually you will gradually practice these skills and then become a better leader. Your enjoyment and a sense of achievement from these responsibilities will move to the next level. So yeah, I think these 3 points, creativity, helping others, and taking responsibilities, are the fundamental things that really motivate me to do the job, to get things done in life and in work. Let me know if there's any other things that motivate you guys. I would love to chat about this and discuss. All right, peace. Hope that was helpful. Thank you.